Right there, I was right there listening to everything that was being said. It's like it blanked me out for a minute.
Yeah.
And so what I was telling King Moshe before I got blanked out is that uh, the scripts say that a word spoken in due season
Mm-hmm.
is like apples of gold
Gold.
in pitchers of silver.
Mm-hmm.
So you talking about you start adding precepts to bring fullness to that particular passage. Apples of gold. I mean, uh, a word spoken in due season is like apples of gold in pitchers of silver. You're dealing with the Most High. So you put a precept on there that says the man that have a delight in the
Mm-hmm.
things of the Most High, he'll put his energy there with the understanding that there is a particular season, that in his due season, he going to bring forth fruit,
Mm-hmm.
and his leaf ain't going to wither, and whatever he
It
do
shall
is going to
prosper.
be prosperous, but it's predicated on a particular season
Mm-hmm.
that's due while man is in pursuit. Because many times we can get in pursuit of something and we doing everything under the sun to make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
But the word that's spoken in due season don't have anything to do with anything that's coming out of our mouth. The word that's spoken in due season is going to have everything to do with the Most High unfolding at that particular time, whatever it is that we was reaching for. In your season, you shall bring forth fruit, and then it shall be prosperous. That's the Most High speaking words in due season before all of the brothers and sisters that probably done watch you persevere through whatever it is that you was going through. And so it's many brothers and sisters out here that's going through the same thing, whether it's a season of lack, whether it's seeming like somebody, getting on your nerves or trying to come against you or stop you. Can't nobody stop nobody's blessing.
Mm-hmm.
Because blessings ain't predicated on what somebody do or what somebody don't do. Because the promotion don't come
That's
that way.
right. That's right.
So it's a place that we have to have our mind right. And if you allow people to start distracting you, then guess what? You can miss your season like that. So for the brothers and sisters, that might be out there, that might be going through those things. Somebody might be the stepped on you. Somebody might be the slandered your name. You might be the lost the job. Somebody might just lost a husband. Might be the lost a wife. It don't make no difference what situation that we enter into. It ain't by happenstance and it ain't no accident. And so if you get distracted by those things that are happening and take your focus off of what it is that you're supposed to be doing, then we're gonna miss our blessing like that. Because it's about time and chance. We said on the last video, the scripture in the book of Ecclesiastes, how the race ain't given to the person that's the
Right.
fastest.
Right.
Because the person that got the speed to win the race, he
Right.
could trip and
Trip
fall.
fall.
He
Yeah.
could trip and fall. You see, matter of fact, three people can trip and fall. One can trip and fall. Another, next fastest one, he can have a cramp. One can pull a muscle, and the least one that had the speed could be the one to take everything. The fight, the battle ain't given to the person that's the strongest. You can be a weakling. You know what I'm saying? Get one lucky punch on the chin
Right.
of
Right.
somebody that weighed 200, 250 pounds and chop them down. It's time and chance. It's not about the ability or the craft. It's about it's how we gonna stay focused on and keep our eyes on the prize, namely. And so we're talking about this is the type of success is dealing with being contented. Being able to be contented with wherever the Most High puts you at, whatever spot that your life is in. Understand that it's no accident. We're there for a reason. And many times we get so preoccupied with trying to get ourselves out of a particular place that we don't understand that the Most High got time and chance. Bread ain't given to men just because they wise. A man could be wise and have pretty information. But let me show you, if he ain't got no money, I don't care how much wisdom he got, he not going in the grocery store and go up to the cash register and get anything on his merit of wisdom. Well, I'm wise. I can answer any question. Well, we don't need you to answer no question. We need $2.35 for that loaf of bread. And I don't care how many questions you can ask or how much knowledge you got. If you can't come up with that $2.35, then you walking out of here without this loaf of bread. So bread ain't given to men because they wise, and favor ain't given to men just because they got skill. Because sometimes you can have all the skill in the world, but the Most High said, I ain't giving you no favor because you got skill, but you got arrogance and you got pride in your life. You got the wrong mindset. So just because you got skill, and then many of us operate in that type of manner. We think because we good and we gifted and we talented at something that that's supposed to put us in the spot, but that don't work like that. Because that's what the book said. But time and chance happens to everybody. Time and chance. That time and chance is dealing with having your feet in the right place at the right time. And we can't have our feet in the right place at the right time if we are easily distracted by all of the things that happen. So, you know, so that's what it is, man.
Yeah, you're right, bro. I was just sitting back, man. I had read Psalms 25 this morning, so I was just
man, so that's what, we just try to encourage some of the brothers and sisters on how to find contentment.
Mm-hmm.
How to find contentment, how to learn how to be content, and learn how to understand that no matter what happened in our life, that ultimately it's going to be the Most High that bring these things to fruition. Look at how many of our brothers and sisters think that the things and the blessings of the Most High can be earned by trying to keep every law, by trying to dot every I and cross every T. And see, the thing is that we are doing those things without understanding, because we don't even understand that it can hold it. We don't even understand that you got all the evidences that your forefathers, they couldn't dot every I and cross every T to win the Most High's favor. And even after all of our attempts to do it, he still declared them as an unrighteous and a wicked people that was going backwards.
Man.
So, so when we start doing that,
yeah, well, I tell you what, bro. You know what? Cause I'm gonna be content. Sometimes when I hear good, I get anxious. I get happy, but
yeah.
But I love to be. I love to get like that because I understand now that, man. I got up this morning, man. I'm ready. So.
One time.
Man, the dude said you could go anytime. And I'm telling you, boy, I'm saying, okay, well, I'm going to go over here and beat this little weather out and get on over here and get this thing done and get on back and just marinate and sit up and watch the parade and shoot, man. I tried to call that company and I couldn't get nobody, so I said, well, damn. I was thinking then when I called them and they didn't get nobody. I was saying, well, maybe. But by that time, I was already long gone. And get up in there and the woman say, well, what are you doing here? I said, I got to do a drug test. She said, She said, not this morning. He said, you don't come in here until about 1:45 to 3:45. I said, well, why the dude told me that I could come? I said, I was just coming trying to beat the weather and stuff, and she said, no, we don't do them.
Yeah, that's what it is, man. So here, take off and read this. Take off and read this. Start reading that verse 8. Can you see those words?
Hold up.
You can blow it up.
No, I got my glasses.
Oh, okay. Start reading that verse 8, because what we wanted to do was that You know, sometimes we do videos that they come as a hit over the head, but then also we're gonna do videos that come as a means to lift brothers and sisters up. So that's what this video is all about: finding contentment that we can be lifted up in the grace of the Most High until our season comes. Now we know that the book of Psalms says, "Blessed is the man." So when we want to be blessed, our blessing gonna come by being able to operate. Blessed is the man that first don't walk in the counsel of ungodly people. That means that we're striving to find the Most High's righteousness. You know, his delight is in the law of the Most High. Now we understand that we're not plainly just simply talking about the laws that the Most High gave our dead ancestors while we're living. We're talking about the laws of the Most High in our life are living laws. And when we wake up and we have air to breathe and we have eyes to see and our body is functioning properly, those things bring us into a greater place of praise and delight in the Most High, because those laws that are living help us to be able to comprehend that as long as I got life, it can turn around at any given minute, and whatever it is that I'm lacking, whatever it is that I need, simply because I'm in tune to these laws that are living, then ain't no boundaries on that. So we delight in the Most High's law, his laws of life, that causes us to understand that my situation could change today or tomorrow. He said, in delighting himself in them laws both day and night. He said that will cause you to be like a tree planted by the rivers of water, because the tree by the rivers of water is directing our attention to the laws of life. Everybody knows that if you take a tree and you set it by the rivers of water, then it's going to receive the necessary nourishment that it needs, and at its appointed time, it's going to bring forth fruit. So when we keep our minds focused in the right place, understanding that as long as we're living, as long as we got our mind in the right place, then you see, then we're going to be like that tree, and we're going to bring forth our fruit in its season. This lets you know that it's a particular time and a particular season that the blessings that is going to hit us are going to come into existence. And it don't have anything to do with what you are able to do or your capabilities or your understanding. It has everything to do with where your mind is at. So Curtis Mayfield came along with a song that said, check out your mind, check out your mind. He understood that our mind being in the right place is what's going to determine the things that unfold in our lives. So as we try to encourage some of the brothers and sisters that been pressing, that been working, that been studying, that been trying to mend broken relationships, that been trying to do what they supposed to do, seemingly with no results, we want to help you to keep your mind in the right place. And this is how you do it until the appointed season comes. What it say?
Finally, brethren,
whatsoever things
are true,
whatsoever things are true,
whatsoever things are honest,
whatsoever things are honest,
whatsoever things are just,
whatsoever things are just,
whatsoever things are pure,
whatsoever things are pure,
whatsoever things are lovely,
whatsoever things are lovely,
whatsoever things are of good report,
whatsoever things are of a good report,
if there be any virtue,
or power,
and if there be any praise, think on these
things. See, it's check out your mind, because there is much negativity that comes into the life that causes your mind to stray away from the positive things or the living laws that the Most High mandate us to live by. So he said, I don't care. If people can walk away from you, then let them walk. But check out your mind to keep your thought on the things that are lovely. Well, Warren left, but I know that the Most High got the power, and if he allowed Warren to leave, then that means that he didn't mean for him to be in my life in the first place. And even though I'm sad about it, and even though I love him, I'm going to cling and keep my mind right by clinging to the the positive things, knowing that the Most High can replace anything that gets taken out of my life. He is able to replenish it. So he said, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are of a good report, get your mind right and think on these things, because they will help you to stay focused where you're supposed to be focused, even when the situations or the circumstances around you are telling you something different. We're dealing with getting our mind right so that we can be in a place of contentment. A place of contentment. Okay? Now, skip down to the 12th verse and let me see where you at.
I know both how to be
Go up to 11. Read 11. Let's keep our mind right.
Not that I speak in
Go up one more.
But I rejoice in the Lord greatly, that now at the last your care of me hath flourished again, wherein ye were also careful.
Now keep this in mind. This is our beloved brother Paul. And Paul is in a bad place. And he is dealing with some brothers and sisters concerning the things that they were doing for him. Sometimes you can get in a bad place and people want to give you a pity party. They want to feel sorry for you. But you got to check out your mind and understand, any place that I can find my life in, it ain't no accident. It ain't by happenstance. The Most High put me there so he can show a greater exceeding weight of his glory later when I come out of it. So don't let nobody start patting you on the back, oh brother, or making you feel sorry for yourself. You got to check out your mind and know, hey, look, I might be in the mud right now, but the God I serve, he's still sitting on the throne. He's fully aware of my situation. And even though I might be on the ground, thank him for the truth things that I still got the law of his air and pumping and oxygen in and out of my body. The laws of my blood is still pumping. The laws of my eyesight are still pumping. And as long as I got breath in my body, my situation can turn around at any given minute. So I ain't gonna let nobody start making me go into a place to where I start feeling sorry for myself. This is what happened. He said, it's not that I ain't concerned or contented about your care for me, because in the bad situation, brothers wanted to come along and start trying to care for Paul while he was in a bad situation. But this is what some of us got to look like. Hey, I know my wife ain't acting right. Hey, I know me and my marriage just broke up. My husband ain't acting right. Hey, my kids ain't acting right. Hey, I know I ain't got no job. My job done failed. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Hey, but I don't need nobody having no pity party for me. I know me and my brothers out of fellowship right now because of a misunderstanding, but I don't need to go into no pity party. And this is what let's listen to what Paul had to say to his brothers. Go ahead.
Going down.
Yep, keep reading.
Not that I speak in respect of want.
Not that I speak in respect of want, because I'm in a bad situation. I really need some help. I really need to get up off of this thing. I can't even keep gas in my own car. I got problems paying my bills. I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know how I'm going to get over this bad thing that I went through. Not that I'm speaking in respect of want, because my spirit is so broken. Keep going.
For I have learned in whatsoever state I am therewith to be content.
He said, but I done been through so many things. I remember when I was a Pharisee persecuting the people of God, and that brought hardship up on me through the Messiah. He said, but I done learned when I converted, I was in a bad situation because the Jews, my brothers, sought to kill me. Twice they beat me, drug me out the city, and left me for dead. Once I was shipwrecked with all hope lost. After 12, 14 days when no sunshine, all hope that I would be spared was lost. The whole ship fell apart, and it had not been for the Most High, we wouldn't have made it. We all had to die about the ship, and the only way we made it to shore is we was clinging to boards and pieces of the ship that had fell apart. Sometimes a storm can hit your life in ways to where everything start falling apart. But Paul has said, not that I don't have respect of the things that brothers and sisters would desire to do so I can have a pity party. He said, I ain't having no pity party, because through the circumstances that I've been through, I have learned I learned that when I got to the shore, on hanging on a boat and got saved, he said, I learned because a rattlesnake came up and bit me. A poisonous snake came up and bit me. He said, but I learned that no matter what situation I was in, that the Most High's power was able to come in there and preserve me. You see, we're talking about real life. We're not talking about just reading the dead scriptures and the dead works of dead men. You got to learn how to allow the works of those dead men that done them great things while they was living become comparable to give us strength and encouragement while we are living in this world. He said, I have learned how to what?
Wait a minute. Not that I speak that I be respected. I have learned in whatsoever state I am, therewith to be content.
See, he learned that whatever state that he was, to be content. It's some of us that can tell you that we came through abusive drugs and came through gangstering on the street, came through shooting people, came through cheating and adultery, came through all type of stuff. And through those situations, he said those situations taught me and they made me learn that no matter how bad of a situation that I was in was, I was able to find contentment. He said, I learned.
Let me read the next one.
Go ahead.
I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound.
He said, I know how to be low and I know how to abound. How do I know? He said, because as a Pharisees, if anybody had the reason or authority to brag, it would be me. He said, for I was the top of all of the scholars. I was the top of all of them, taught by the greatest teacher that you could be taught by. He said, when it came to the law, I was zealous above all of my predecessors, and nobody kept the law and was zealous in that type of manner as I was. He said, I know how to abound. And I also know how to be abased, because through the vision that I had, I was brought low as I was dropped to the ground, and now had the mandate to turn my back on everything that was dealing with me, abounding. And it brought me to a place of utter humility, to where the brothers I once associated with, now they wanted to kill me. And not only did they want to kill me, the brothers that I was going to, that I used to previously chase, they wanted to kill me too. So now I found myself learning how to be abased, trapped in the middle, on two ends. With brothers I used to be with want to kill me because they feel like I done turned my back on them. And the brothers that I'm going to try to reach are the same brothers that I once persecuted, and they don't believe me and they want to kill me too. Now everybody want to kill me, and that's causing me to have to run into a place of isolation where I ain't got no help, I ain't got no encouragement, and don't nobody seem like they care. He said, so through them situations, I learned how to be abased and brought low. Come on.
Everywhere and in all things.
Everywhere and in all things.
I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry.
He said, I know how to be full, because when I was a Pharisee at the top of my game, everybody wanted to be on my team. Just like some of the brothers out here. When we was on the top of our game, everybody wanted to be on our team. And we was full. We was full, and we had enough to give other people. When I had my good job, I had enough to share with other people. I knew what it was like to have a full icebox, a full freezer, and a full deep freezer. I knew how to be in that condition, how to be full. He said, but I also learned how to suffer hungers as I was running from all of the people on both ends, and now then had access to the things that I used to have access to. I felt myself out in the wilderness eating plants and digging up something and tasting things that was growing out the ground that I had never tasted before, just to try to survive. I know what it's like being left for dead out there outside of the city for 3 or 4 days with nothing to eat and nobody to care for. He said, but the Most High brought me through that. So it don't make no difference what type of situation any of us go through. It don't matter what any of us go through. We can overcome these obstacles. Yep.
Praise Yah.
What do you got?
Okay, and then it says, both to abound and to suffer need.
See, we know what it's like to suffer need. And many brothers know what it's like to abound, where you can pay your own bills. You got what you need. You got your food. You got your clothes. Your kids got what they need. But many of us don't want to identify with the fact that life don't always go like that. Sometimes the Most High put you in a situation to teach you some of these same lessons that Paul had learned. Because this is what he's dealing with. He is dealing with the things that he had learned, and the things that he had learned was dealing with how his mind operates. And so when you start talking about getting your mind right, you're dealing with learning. But learning only comes by way of experience. And so Paul is dealing with this. And this is some encouragement for some of the brothers and sisters that might find themselves in the same place.
I can do all things through Yahushua, which strengthened me.
He said, what I learned through all of it is that I could do all things through Christ who strengthened me. Even as we used to tell the preachers in church how they misused and twisted the scripture, and we say, hey, that didn't mean that Christ would give you the strength to get out of a situation that he put you in for his learning. See, every situation that any of us can get put in our life, it is the Most High that orchestrates the obstacles that we're going to face in our life. It's the Most High that determines who's going to rise and who's going to fall. It's the Most High that determines who's going to live and who's going to die. It's the Most High that determines those things. So the Most High ain't never going to give you the power to go against a situation that he put you in. This is a lesson that not only Paul learned, but it's a lesson that many of us have to learn. Because when the Father put us in certain places, we don't always want to be there. And we do anything in the world to try to get out of a situation that we deem as bad, not understanding it's a situation that the Most High put us in so that we can learn some valuable lessons. So he said, I have learned through this bad situation how I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. Why did he have to learn it? Because when you in your times are up and when you in your times of plentiness, you ain't even thinking about the Most High in that type of area. But when you get in your season of lack, you think about the Most High in times that you ain't never thought about him, because you know that you'll die right there where you at if you don't keep your mind on him. He said it's at that point that the Messiah start to teach me a valuable lesson. I learned that I would be given the strength no matter what situation that I was in to endure it and to persevere until the Most High decided it was now promotion time and it was now my season to bring forth fruit. So you can't get sidetracked by the things that you're going through just because it looked like the life is in a place of lack. Doesn't mean the life is in a place of lack. Because every situation is a situation for teaching. And you're dealing with teaching, you're talking about the Most High's wisdom. So he is bringing wisdom into your life. That means that your life is about to receive something that's greater than the circumstance that we're going through. We got to check out our mind. Check out our mind. Because many times our mind go in the wrong place. Man, if I hadn't did that, I would still have that job. Man, if it wasn't for that woman, man, my whole life would be different. I got with that woman and my life got sidetracked. Now I end up over here. If it wasn't for that man that I married, man, I wouldn't have been in trouble. My life is messed up because of that. Man, you know, me and that brother, we was doing some good works together, man. And if he hadn't flipped out, he the reason why I can't get up. He the reason why all my stuff fell apart. Man, he walked off with all my good things, all of my everything. No. You got to get your mind right. Because anything that belongs to us belongs to us. And some of the things that happen to us, they are going to happen to us as a people. It's a process of learning. You have to learn. You see, the Messiah gives us the strength to find contentment in whatever situation that he put us in. And it's in finding that contentment, no matter where you at, that becomes the success that cannot be measured by the abundance of things that a man possesses. And this is how the Most High will step in and say, hold up, wait a minute. I know he broke. Hey, I know he ain't got no job. I know his marriage is broken. While everybody out here is saying everything that they want, putting their mouth on the individual, telling them where they failed at, what they should have did, what they could have did. He said, no, I'm going to step in. I'm going to show the world that promotion don't come from the east nor the west. It don't come from the north nor the south. Promotion comes from me. I will pick one up and I will put one down. But guess what? Before he can pick one up, the one that's down, the one that's going to be picked up is already down. And he got to come to a place in his mind to where he can find contentment with where the Most High got him. And when he can get to that point, the Most High said, I know he was down, but since he can handle being down and he can handle being humiliated, he can handle being ostracized and criticized, I'll go and grab him. And I'll take the one that was down in a humble spirit with a broken spirit and a contrite heart, and I'll pick him up. But the one that was up, that wasn't even paying attention to me, that thought he was dependent on his money, on his name, on his talent, on his credibility, and on his favor with other people, I will put him down, and not to cast him out, but I will put him down so that he can learn the valuable lesson that needs to be learned. It's what it is. This is a message of encouragement. I know we hit some brothers over the head, but some brothers need to be hit over the head. But every now and then, we got some brothers, they need to be lifted up. They need to be lifted up and raised up. So when you start talking about learning, he said, I learn. I can do all things through Yeshua HaMashiach, who will give me the strength to find contentment in the place that the Most High have put me. You see, when you don't fully understand the scripture and you twist or teach this sick, twisted, demented part of scripture like they doing in church, telling people that's in a bad situation, it ain't really a bad situation. It's a situation the Most High put them in so that they can come to understand who's doing the work of the Most High, who's going to come to see about them. And they can also understand some things about themselves as it relates to their praise and where they fit in to the Most High's program. So he'll come along and tell you, well, you know, you got to have faith. You got to exercise faith. Well, you can do all things. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me. That's a bold-faced lie. And it's a scripture out of context because Christ ain't never going to give you the strength to go against his will. If he put you there, why would he go against himself and give you the strength to climb out of a situation that was made for your learning? So it's out of context. He said, when you start talking about being able to do things, being able to be empowered, you see, Christ don't have to give a man a strength to be thankful when he got an ice box full of food. He don't have to give him the strength when he can pay his bills. He don't have to give him the strength when he can do it. But when he put him down in the gutter or in a hog pen of life, now he has to give that man strength just so that that man could be sustained. But if that man can receive the strength and be sustained and say like Job, though you slay me, yet shall I trust you. I used to be rich, but all my sheep got took. I used to be rich. My children got murdered. I used to be rich. Every good thing that I had was gone. I used to be rich in my health as I seen the laws of the Most High's living laws operating in my body. He said I used to be rich when I seen those things. Now I'm sick. Now my body ain't functioning. Some of us have been sick, got a bad doctor's report. He said, now my body ain't functioning. I'm covered with boils. And even the people that used to be around me don't want to have anything to do with me. My own wife that I love dearly, that bore me 10 children, that ran off and left me and told me to curse God and die because I refused to yield and give up my faith, because I refused to be contented with whatever the Most High have done. I say like Job, though he slay me, yet shall I trust him. And just that abasement came in. And yeah, it don't mean that you won't have problems, because Job had problems. Job wrestled in his mind while people was trying to tell, well, you know, the only reason why you lost your wife is because of this. Well, the only reason why, you know, your stuff fell apart is because of this. Hey, you hear about what he had? They repoed his car, and everybody got the answer to your life, but nobody there had the ability to comprehend that it was the Most High that told Satan, go down there and abase my servant and see if you can get him to turn on me. That's why you got to get your mind right, because when the Most High puts you in a place that's uncomfortable, you can't start complaining. You can't start whining to everybody of what this ain't and what that ain't, and oh, I wish I had this, and I remember when I done this with you. You can't go to whining like that. But it happens because Job did it. And the Most High said, Job, Check out your mind. Where was you when I hung the stars up in heaven that you see to this day that are upheld by the word of my power? Where was you when I took the dust of the ground and formed a man whose loins you came through and still exists on the earth until this appointed time? He said, where was you when I breathed a breath into the nostrils and something that was once made of the lowest form of existence become the greatest thing I ever created? Where was you, Job? Job had to check out his mind. Job had to check out his mind. And once you check out your mind and you see even in spite of your situation may not be as good as you want it to be, and Job checked out his mind and understood that and then looked and said, dang, my children are gone, but look at the Most High giving me another 10 children. All of my stuff was gone, but because I was able to check out my mind, look at him give me double for my trouble. Look at him raising me up. Look at what my friends feel like now after they had slandered me, after they had talked about me, after they said all this crazy stuff about me. Look at the glory that the Most High getting out of my life for being able to find contentment with where he put me. Many people chasing after the will of the Most High. Well, we telling you how to get it. You're not going to get it but one way. Because promotion don't come from the east nor the west. Promotion come from the Most High. And the Most High picks and chooses who he going to raise up today and who he going to debase tomorrow. Only thing we can do is be encouraged to hang in there. Keep our mind right.
Be content.
Keep our mind right. So we dealing with the thinking now. We're dealing with the thinking. So let's have you read this, Marty. We're dealing with the thinking. Verse 8. Start reading that verse 8. We're dealing with the thinking. Check out your mind, brothers and sisters. Check out your mind. Check out your mind with what you're going through. It don't mean that it's over. They can say what they want to say, but it don't mean that it's over. Some things you hear and you don't hear. Some things you see and you don't see. You know they wasn't doing you right. You know they wasn't being fair to you. You know they wasn't treating you the same way they was treating you when everything was good. You know that, but check out your mind so that you don't allow what people do in your time of abasement to lead your mind astray. What does it say, Marty?
Better is the end of a thing.
Better is the end of a thing
than the beginning
than the
thereof.
beginning thereof. Better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Check out your mind and get your mind right. I know the marriage didn't work, but better is the end of a thing than the beginning, because the end of the thing symbolizes that I don't have to go through no more. From where I started to the end of a thing was a lot of hell in between there, but better is the end of a thing than the beginning, because it's over. Me and my brother, we had to part ways, but better is the end of a thing than the beginning, because the Most High said, why would I allow somebody to stay connected to you until I bless you that who's don't have no cohesiveness with you in the spirit? Better is the end of the thing than the beginning of it.
And the patience in spirit is better than the proud in spirit.
And the patient in spirit is better than the proud, because the patient in spirit is the one that has been abased, that has to endure all the adversity that people bring against them while they're in their time of abasement. He said better is what? Read it again.
Better than the proud in spirit.
Okay, see, the patient spirit is better than the proud in the spirit. You see? So when we start getting our mind right, we understand just because a thing came to an end don't mean that was the end of it. Just because the job came to an end ain't no reason to start losing faith and lacking faith in the Most High, because the Most High might be getting ready to bless you with something that's 10 times better than what you had if you can release yourself from it. Just because you lose a relationship don't mean that it's over. The Most High can bless you with somebody that you are not only have cohesiveness and rhythm with in the flesh, in the physical, but you'll have cohesiveness and rhythm with in the spirit that will be 10 times better. But you have to check out your mind and understand that better is the end of a thing than the beginning. Because from the time you begin a thing, you don't know all of the different stuff you got to go through to get to the end. But once you get to the end, it's over. It's over. I'm done with that. It's over. I'm done with that. I ain't got to worry about nobody cheating on me. I ain't got to worry about nobody trying to swindle me no more. I ain't got to worry about whether or not a person's motive is genuine or not. I ain't got to worry about all that stuff that happened in the middle. At the end of it, I know that it's over. It's a done deal. Now I got a fresh new start, and I'm going to be having my focus and my senses sharp and keen so I can see and hear when the Most High get to that place where it's about time and chance and being in the right place at the right time. So we got to get our mind
read this
right.
next one too.
Go ahead.
Be not hasty in thy spirit to be angry, for anger resteth in the bosom of fools.
So he's telling us that when he abase us, we got another precept that can go on top of that say, my son, when you come to serve the Lord, set your heart all right and prepare your soul for temptation and constantly endure. And be not hasty to go out of his sight, but cling to him. And whatsoever thing come upon you, take it cheerfully, that you may be increased at your last end. You see, when the Most High get ready to increase you, he sent you through a series of tests that are dealing with abasement. So he said, but when you're going through your tests, and your tests, your brothers and sisters, your tests, your family, your tests, all the different situations, your job, your tests, the people that you're going to go through, he said, you know what? You can't be hasty in your spirit to be angry. For anger has its residence in the bosom and the heart of fools. You can't talk about that you love the Most High. This is a measuring stick with many people that talk about they love the Most High. But soon as somebody say or do one thing to you, you're so angry in your spirit that it makes manifest that you are a fool, not a wise man. Anger rests in the bosom of fools. Therefore, you can't be hasty in your spirit to be angry at people when they don't do what you do. Now, let me run some things home for you so you can comprehend it and understand it. Think of somebody that every time they called you, you was always there. They got your money. They could use your car. You even let them live in your house. But during your time of abasement, you couldn't get nothing from them. And that causes you to be hasty or quick to be angry because you feel like people should do for you what you done for them. But you don't get the Father's blessing that way because it ain't what they done. It's what he is doing. He is the one that is abasing you. And he's abasing you to bring you to the point to where all of those that you thought that you could depend on will no longer be there for you. And when you come out of it, you will come out of it understanding that had it not been for the mighty hand of the Most High that I humbled myself up under, I would have perished where I was at. He said, whatever come upon you, take it cheerfully. Take it cheerfully. This is another troubling area. So go to Matthew 5th chapter and read the 11th verse because we're dealing with getting our mind right. It ain't enough for nobody to just be quoting scripture, but when the Most High start bringing the test into our life, we fail and we are hasty to go out of his way. And then while we're out of his way, the time and chance that happens to all of us is missed. And then hindsight, looking back, you'll say, man, if I only knew what I knew, if I knew then what I knew now. If I could have seen it clearly, if I had never took my focus off of that and paying attention to that mess right there, it caused me to miss my blessing. That was the greatest woman that I had. If my mind and my eyesight wasn't over there, I would have never lost that woman. I would have never lost that man. I would have never lost that job if I realized how valuable that was to me. But see, time and chance happen to all of us. But there are things that come into our life, and if we don't learn how to abase ourselves and bring ourselves up under a place of humility, the humility causes us to focus on the Most High. And when the Most High bring that blessing, we can see it crystal clearly. But sometimes we get hasty in our spirit to want to start blaming everybody, and we take our focus off of where it's supposed to be, and the time and chance shows up and we don't even see it until it's over.
Matthew's 5.
12.
Matthew's 5 verse 12. Rejoice.
5:11. 5:11.
Matthew's 5 and 11.
Get your mind right. Let's get our minds right, people.
Blessed are ye when man shall revile you.
Blessed are you when man shall revile you. Men do not revile you when you up. Men do not revile you when you have everything that you need. Men do not revile you when you got everything that's looking good in your life. But he said, blessed are you when men revile you
And persecute you.
and persecute you.
And shall say all manner of evil against you falsely. For my sake.
See, hold it right there. He said, rejoice and be exceedingly glad. He said, listen. He said, blessed are you. Let me tell you something, brothers. If you want to be blessed, this is the only way it can be done. Because this is what the blessing is attached to. He said, you want to be blessed? This is how you be blessed. When men can come along and revile you, and you're not hasting your spirit to be angry and snap back, you can be blessed. When men persecute you, when men are talking about you, calling, oh, look at Reverend Ike, look at Reverend Ike. Oh, it's Deacon Flip-Flop, Deacon Willie, he think he doing something. Oh, I thought he was a church. When men can persecute you and men can say all manner of evil against you falsely, for my name's sake. You see, that's dealing with you being able to be contentment with being abased. Because you understand, the only reason why people are saying these awful things to me is because I'm seeking to serve the Father. And the Father have taken me out of one place and put me in another place. And because I understand that this is the work of the Father, and my brothers are misunderstanding what the Father is doing in my life, I have to take these things cheerfully. You see, he says, so in order for me to get a blessing, I've come to serve notice on you. Every now and then, you need somebody talking about you. Oh, yeah, that so-called elder, he done flipped out. He done lost his mind. Every now and then, you need somebody talk. Oh, that nigga can't rap. He can't rap. He can't sing. He can't do this. You need somebody. Oh, her clothes ain't worth nothing. Fringes was crooked. Name tag on there wasn't right. Letter was misspelled. Every now and then, you need somebody talking about you, reviling you. Oh, they think they something now. Look at them. They done got that Hebrew Israelite stuff, and they done lost their mind. They don't even come to church no more. Or even the Christian. Look at him. He done got in the church, but we ain't forgot about what he was doing over there slapping his wife, over there doing drugs at night. We ain't forgot about that. Look at him. Every now and then you need people reviling and persecuting you and talking about you for what you're trying to do. You're trying to change your life. You're trying to get into the favor of the Most High. You're trying to do those things, and you understand that when the Most High puts you in a place of abasement, that you're trying to honor that by taking what people say about you cheerfully. He said, but blessed are you when these things happen, and they're only happening, you're taking it because of my name's sake. They ain't forgot who you was. They know at one time you reach out and slap the hell out of them. They ain't forgot that. They ain't forgot about the pistol that you used to keep on your hip. They ain't forgot about how you'll lash out and you'll put that tongue on them. They ain't forgot about that. He said, but now they see something different because you're trying to serve the Most High and they don't see you doing what you used to do. He said, so you have to be the one to pat yourself on the back and say, thank you, Lord. I seen the time that I hit them straight in the mouth. Thank you, Lord. I seen the time that nobody would disrespect me. I seen the time that I run off and tell her, get the hell out and don't come back. Go find you somebody else to take care of. It was a time that I was like that. He said, but now I'm not like that. I'm taking these things and they're hurtful and they're painful. He said, but the only reason why I'm doing it is because I am clinging onto you and trying to make my life change. And this is what we have to learn how to do. Get our minds right. He said, blessed are you when people do these things. He said, for my name's sake, you're not biting back. Come on, Mike.
Rejoice.
He said, rejoice.
And be exceedingly glad.
And be exceedingly glad.
For great is your reward in heaven.
For great is your reward in heaven.
For so persecuted they, the prophets, who were before you.
He said, the reason why you're going to do it is because I'm going to give you the evidence. That same Bible that everybody say that they believe in, they are reading the writings and the acts and the events. I want to say thank you, Brother Matthew Menard. We did receive your gift. It's much needed, much appreciated. All praises to the Most High. May he double and triple what you have left. Likewise, any other brothers and sisters that have sought to do something good. It says now, rejoice and be exceedingly glad, because great is our reward. You see, the reason why the Most High tossed some out there in front of us that gives us a little help and encouragement with being able to do these things that are extremely hard because they attack the flesh. And not only do he give us encouragement like that, he give us encouragement by looking at the Bible and the scripture. And he said, you see all them prophets in there? You see all them prophets in there that everybody is trying to dot every I and cross every T and walk in their footsteps? He said, let me show you something. They don't understand the significance of this particular passage until they get on the ground, until they get in the hog's pen of the life, because the hog's pen represent where the prophets was at. He said the prophets was in the hog's pen of life. They didn't have no family. They didn't have no friends. And see, when I spoke to them, the only thing that they could do is they had no choice. They had to go and speak to my people. But the word that they would speak wasn't popular. The word that they would speak was going to make the people didn't want them around, was going to make the people want to kill them. Some of them got killed. Some of them got set on fire. Some of them got stoned to death. Some of them got fed to the animals. He said they didn't like the messages of the prophets. And so it lets you know that these brothers in this modern day era are full of crap. They are full of crap. I wish I could reach out and use the worldly term and say they are full of bulls, because they don't understand this. They don't understand this. That he said, great is your reward, for they also persecuted the prophets which walk before you. Hey, if you're going to classify me amongst anybody, you let me be classified amongst the prophet Ezekiel, the prophet Jeremiah, the prophet Isaiah. You look at the prophet Jeremiah that was called the weeping prophet. He wasn't a weeping prophet for no reason. He was the weeping prophet because his heart bled, because of the rebellion of his people. His heart bled because every time you turn around, his people was getting him, and 3 or 4 men jumping on him. And every time you turn around, somebody slapping him in the face, trying to make him be quiet. You look at the prophet Daniel, who had the charge to go into the lion's den, that men could witness him be ripped to strands. You look at the 3 Hebrew boys that had to go into the furnace while everybody else was around trying to tell them, hey, you sit down, you get down here with us. Don't you know that they're going to kill you? Blessed to you when men shall revile you, persecute you, and say all manner of evil against you falsely, when you are willing to stand for the Most High. You talking about looking at the prophet Isaiah, who by the Most High Spirit had to burn up 3 sets of kings of 50 and then get chased all over the planet by Jezebel. You look at the prophet Ezekiel. You look at all of these different prophets. You look at the prophet Noah. You look at the prophet Moses. You look at how the people rejected them in the wilderness when they cried out for meat because Moses wouldn't let them slaughter the animals. You look at what they said to Moses. What the God, you should have left us in Egypt. You'd have brought us out here to die. And you look at all of the different things that they done to the prophets. And the Most High said, when you can allow yourself to be abased, he said, I classify you amongst the prophets, and great is your reward. For they also persecuted the prophets. Go on and say what you want to say. Go on and call me a false prophet. Go on and call me a liar. Go on and call me a hypocrite. Go on and tell me that I ain't what I think I am. Say whatever you want. Go on and tell me that I ain't a good rapper. Tell me that I ain't a good singer. Tell me that my clothes ain't worth nothing. Go on and tell me that I ain't a good husband. That I'm a lousy daddy. That I'm a deadbeat father. Go on and say whatever you want to say, because blessed as I ain't going to be when I don't respond back. The Most High is going to reward me with the same reward that he gave to the prophets if I can get my mind right and understand that everything that glitters is not gold. That's powerful. That's powerful. That's powerful.
It is.
Ain't nobody going to tell me about what the Most High won't do. See, the more they talk about you, the greater you're going to get. It's the children of Israel that that the more that they pressed them, the greater that they grew. Go on and kill the boys when they come. The more they pressed them, the greater that they grew. The children are outnumbering us about 10-1 in birth. Even though we're trying to kill them, even though we put hard bondage on them, the more we persecute them, the greater of people that they got. This is how the Most High set his program and his plan up. The more that they press you, the more that they persecute you, the more that they talk about you, the more the Most High going to allow you to be blessed, because pressure busts pipes. And sometimes the Most High allow through our basement pressure to get on us. The bills are too high. I can't pay the food. I can't buy my children nothing. Everything is coming apart. It brings pressure on you. And once that pressure have mounted up so great, it blows the thing apart. And the only place for that pressure and that steam to go is right into the presence of the Most High. That's what it is. That's what it is. So go on and let the pressure mount until the pipe busts. Because when the pipe busts, it's going to be a sign that I was able to do these things that the Most High had instructed me to do. See?
Praise God.
Yep. I'm a living witness. I'm a living witness. The Most High do for us those things that we desire. It don't always happen when we want it to happen. But if we persevere through what we got to deal with, it will happen. It will happen. Sometimes I get to sitting around thinking to myself, man, Most High, I ain't done nothing. I ain't done no work since November. Since October. It's the 1st of February. Man, I ain't done no work in 5 months. I ain't had no money coming in 5 months. But then the Most High said, well, stop and look. You got what you asked for. You asked to be set free from people's jobs and all of that. So I let you get your house paid for. You asked to be set free so that you can study the word. So I let you be free from the responsibility of having to work. You asked to be free if somebody got sick or somebody died and you had to go and see about them. So I freed you from having the responsibility of answering to anybody. And in the process, I gave you just enough that you needed to make sure that you got food, lights, gas, and water. No, you ain't got nothing extra. He said, but you got exactly what you asked for. And now that you are in the place that you desired to be, now you start looking at what you don't have, and now you can become a curse to me for what I blessed you to be in. He said, so look at what I have done. It had been according to the things that you asked for and according to the desires of your heart. Because sometimes you start looking at that and you start feeling sorry for yourself. And I don't want to make no video. I'm going to go out there and make a video telling people how blessed they going to be when I ain't got nothing myself. But the Most High come in and say, you got everything that you asked for. You asked for this. So you better get over there and make another video. You got everything that you asked for. You might not have no extras piled on top of it, but you do got everything that you asked for. You have been set free. You are in a better place than many people, because the words that you're going to speak through the leisure time that I give you as my spirit comes are going to be the very reason that you desire to be in that position in the first place. They're going to help one of your brothers have enough faith to make it to the next day. It's going to empower somebody to be able to hold on. It's going to come in and show somebody that it wasn't all about what they did and that they wasn't wrong like the people did. It's going to show somebody the will that I have set for their life. So I had to get my mind right and go over there and make the video. Make that video. Make that video, because in making that video, it's a rejoicing that breaks out, because of where the Most High put me is where I asked to be. And many of you have asked the Most High to put you somewhere, and he put you where you asked to be, but you lost some things in the process, and you're looking somewhere else. But when you really direct your attention and you see what the Most High did, yeah, I know it ain't all right, but look at your kids. They ain't went a day hungry. They still clothed. They still got the main things that they need. That's what it is. We learn how to be abased and how to abound, how to be hungry and how to be full. We have learned therewith that wherever we find our lives at, to be content, because it's the will of the Most High. Now, somebody's situation might be a little bit different. Somebody might be and got a bad doctor's report, or your family member got a bad doctor's report, and you don't know what in the world you can do to encourage them, because they might be looking at something that's terminal. They might be looking at something that they ain't never gonna get back up. They might be feeling like the Most High have forgotten about me. Somebody just lost some parents. Two people that I know that was dear to me in Kansas City, Missouri, just got hit by a stolen car yesterday and killed. They ain't never going back. Somebody, children might need to hear this. Somebody might be to the point to where they ready to give up on the Most High, because they wonder, how did the Most High let something like this happen to me? We always say it. Somebody's family is disrupted. You can be in some situations. Some people are in situations that's far more difficult to deal with than others. Because if you got a problem, but it can be signed with it can be solved with the writing of a check, you don't have a problem at all. When you get a doctor's report that's telling you you got something that is terminal in you, that thing can start dealing with your mind in a way that will send you in a completely different direction. So we want our brothers and sisters to be encouraged no matter what level of life that you are on. So let's go here. Let's go here. Let's go here. This is going to be the last one. Yeah. I hope this is blessing somebody. If this has been blessing to somebody, if somebody can identify with this video that's been made, put a 7 up there. Let me know that somebody out there hearing me. Turn to Psalms 139. I'm going to read from verse 7 to 12. All praises, all praises. All praises to the Most High, His glorious Son. Yeah, 7 through 12. This is for our brothers and sisters that might be going through something that they think that their problem is so far away from the Most High that they don't have nothing but pure discouragement down on the inside of them. Go ahead.
Whither shall I go from thy spirit?
Where can I go from the Most High Spirit?
Or whither shall I flee from thy presence?
Or where can I go and run from your presence?
If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there.
He said, if I could go unto the utmost parts of heaven, the Most High is there.
If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, thou art there.
He said, should I happen to make my bed down in Sheol, behold, I find that you are there.
If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost parts of the sea, even there shall thy hand,
if I do like Jonah did,
lead me.
If I do like Jonah did and find myself all the way in the depths of the sea, I find that thou art there.
And thy right hand shall hold me.
You'll lead me even in the depths of the ocean, and your right hand is able to hold me.
If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me.
See, and if I say the darkness shall cover me, surely the light shall, the day is as daylight. It's that daylight to the Most High. Now let me show you something, because with this particular passage of scripture, the Most High is making his people to understand that there is no thing in life, no circumstance, no physical geographical location, no anything that we can go to where his presence and his spirit is not already there. So let's take the scripture and then bring it up to the 21st century as it relates to dealing with us as a people, of getting our mind right, and go back and start reading at the first one where it says, if I take the wings and go to heaven.
Psalms 1.
You right there.
O Lord, thou hast searched me and known me. Thou knowest my down sitting and my uprising.
See, Most High know everything about us.
Thou understandest my thought.
He understands our thought process. That is why he is trying to get us to renew our mind. What we're dealing with the word is dealing with our thought and our ability to have productive thoughts that keeps us focused.
Thou compass my path and my lying down, and art acquainted with all my ways. For there is not a word in my tongue, but lo, O Lord, thou knowest it together, all together.
Now, where I need you to be is at verse, I need you to be at verse 10. Yeah.
Even there.
Verse 10. Is that verse 10?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I need you to be back where you first started. What was that? 7. Yeah. Start at verse 8.
Okay.
Because we're looking at where can we go from his presence. And we just want to take this scripture and bring it up into the 21st century where it's dealing with the things pertaining to this life that we living in.
If I ascend up into heaven, thou art there.
Okay, now when you're talking about ascending into heaven, heaven is a spiritual place. You understand what I'm saying? Heaven is the place where the Most High dwell. Heaven is supposed to be a prepared place for prepared people. So what the Most High is dealing with now is people that have a spirit of religion in them. And what we want our brothers and sisters to understand is it don't make no difference where your spirit of religion is coming from the Israelite community, whether it's coming from Christianity or whether it's coming from Islam. If you could take the wings and then send unto the uttermost parts of heaven, you better be careful because the Most High is there. He hears everything that you say. If you ain't living by what it is that you're saying, if you took the wings and people could see you ascend to the uttermost parts of heaven where spirituality is reigning, and God forbid you to be what you're supposed to be or what you're displaying before the people, he said you better know that when you elevate yourself in self-righteousness and hypocrisy, you better know that I am there already.
If I make my bed in Sheol, behold, thou art there.
Now, to the brother or the sister that is a base, that feel like all their hope is lost, to the brother that feel like that he's on his way to hell because he's on drugs, because he can't overcome the obstacles of the traps that was clamped on his foot as he tried to live his life. He was introduced to things that he didn't know what the effect was going to have on him in the days to come. To the one who has been an adulterer and cheated on his wife, that's being convicted by everybody else that he's going to hell. To the one that got done treacherously with his brother that would be on the way to hell. He said, if I make my bed in hell, I found out that the Most High is there. Let me come to serve notice on your brother and sister. I don't care what kind of situation you're in, whether you've been a prostitute, whether you've been on a stripping pole, whether you've been an adulterer, whether you've been a heroin addict, whether you've been a crackhead, an alcoholic, a hateful, a whoremonger, a murderous spirit. I don't care where you at. There is no place that you can go to escape God's presence. No matter what you have done, the Most High Spirit is there to call you out and to uphold you and bring you out of it. So don't let nobody make you feel bad about being a base. The Most High Spirit is everywhere that men are. For his desire is that no man will perish, but that all men will have an opportunity to come to repentance. Come on.
If I take the wings of the morning and dwell in the uttermost part of the sea, even there shall thy hand lead me.
See?
And thy right hand shall hold me.
Even there shall his hand lead me. Because the one that takes and dwells in the uttermost part of the sea is the one that's running from the will of God. I don't care how much you try to run from the will of the Most High. When you know the Most High have put a calling and put a spirit on you, even though you don't want to do it like Jonah didn't want to do it. I don't care how much you run. When you get to China with your bowl of rice, the Most High Spirit is right there to lead lead and guide you and to uphold you and cause you to do what it is that you're supposed to do. So if you know that the Most High have called you, but you can't stand the persecution, you don't want to hear the jokes, you don't want to hear the ridicule, you don't want the people saved, because the people that you're going to be sent to save ain't being righteous, they being worthy of death. You don't want the people saved because these are the same people that have done you wrong. So you would rather run from your responsibility. But let me tell you the truth, just as surely as we got the sign of Jonah, who was in the belly of the whale for 3 days and 3 nights, and Most High's hand led him up out of there. He said, there is no place that you can run from my presence. So that's to the runner. That's to the man that wants to neglect the fact that the Most High have put his spirit on you. Come on.
If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, even the night shall be light about me. Yea, the darkness hideth not from thee, but the night shineth as the day. The darkness and the light are both alike to thee.
And this is for the wicked man. This is for the wicked man that thinks that the cover of darkness can hide him from the Most High. This is for the one that only comes out at night. This is for the one that pulls out his black hoodie and his black boots and puts his pistol on his hip to go out and try to cause somebody to stumble. This is for him to know that the darkness is as daylight to the Most High. You can't move up under the cover of darkness and think that you can get away from the Most High. This is for the self-righteous hypocrite that think you can come on social media, on Facebook and YouTube, portraying yourself one way before the people. But then soon as you close the door, Ezekiel 7th chapter, son of man, I'll show you things that the priests are doing behind the closed door, and I'll show you a greater abomination, son of man. Look again, son of man, come and see what they do in the dark. This is what we do in the dark. While we ain't nobody looking, we'll look at the porn. Why ain't nobody looking? We'll walk around our house drunk. Why ain't nobody looking? We want all sex. We want all these same things that everybody else does. But we are the priests of the Most High. Let the confession begin at the house of the Most High. I know all about Pornhub, NXXX. I know all about the double X-rated flicks. These have been things that was real. I know what it's like to go to church and come out of church and go straight to the crack house and buy some crack to smoke or some weed to smoke. I know what it's like to bust up in the nightclub in the same suit that I came out of church with. I know what it's like. Son of man, you want to see those that think that they can hide up under the cover of darkness? Look again, and I'll show you a greater abomination. This is for the self-righteous hypocrite and the wicked man that thinks he can hide up under the cover of darkness. And this is what I tell you all the time. I'm not concerned about what people think about me. You want to know who I am? You want to know if I'm the same brother on the video that I am on person? You come to my city. You come to my city. You get some of these brothers. I ain't going to pretend. Because the same brothers I buy dope from, I sit right there and talk to about the Most High without no shame, unapologetic and unashamed, because that's just the nature of man. There is no place that any of us can go from the spirit of the Most High. Why am I going to pretend to anybody that these things have not been real in your life? These things are real. They are what life consists of. Because if no man had the struggles in this life, this scripture wouldn't be there. This scripture is there to encourage every man, woman, and child that no matter where they find their life in or how difficult or ugly the circumstances are, the Most High Spirit is there calling us out of it. Come out of there, boy. Come out of there, boy. I know you failed that time, but you made it 3 days over here. So pat yourself on the back. Get back in the fight. I know you failed. You failed again. You said you wasn't going to do it. You found yourself doing it again. But look at there. You lasted 2 weeks this time, and you felt bad about it. Come out of there. Come out of there. I know you said you wasn't going to fornicate, and you went a month trying to walk in abstinence, but you slipped and you failed. You had a couple of glasses of wine, and next thing you know, you accidentally fell into another woman's bed. I know you failed, but I knew your heart. Come out of there. Come out of there. Come out of there. Keep getting strengthened. Listen, we don't play games. We don't play games with the Most High's word. We don't play games with his life, because the life is meant to be lived. And the word that he brings to us gives us the power to overcome the obstacles. We got some self-righteous hypocrites that hear this video and then come back. Look, Elder talking about. Listen, boy, let me tell you something, boy. There ain't many places that I have not been in this short 53 years of my life. I have been in those places. That is why the Most High give me the authority to speak on them. And I don't speak on them as though I have overcame every last one of them, because if I did overcome every last one of them, there would be no need for me to constantly search the scriptures on a daily basis. But the reason why we do it, because at any given moment, there are 1,000 other people out here at the same time with the same problems that can't get no breakthroughs, because the ones that's experiencing the problems ain't got the courage enough to come out and pull their coat off, ain't got the courage enough to say, you think that's something you going through, you should be rejoicing. Look at what I'm struggling with. I tell you what, you pray for me and I'll pray for you. That's how you get breakthroughs. But you ain't getting no breakthrough. You ain't having no impact on nobody. Why you trying to hide? But we just showing you, ain't nobody can hide from the Most High. Ain't nobody can hide from that. So if you're fornicating, be willing to declare that I'm fornicating and call it what it is, and pray that the Most High Spirit give you the grace to overcome it. If you're on drugs, be willing to declare it. Because you can be on drugs and still love the Most High and be waiting until he get around to delivering you. If you got a broken marriage, you the same thing. Be willing to admit and face whatever demon it is that you're dealing with. Because if you can't face the demon, where you going to get the strength to fight it from? I don't know who hear me, but this ain't for everybody. This video wasn't for our self-righteous, hypocritical folk. This video was for our brothers and sisters that seeming like they done lost a little hope, that don't know how to deal with being abased. They don't know how to deal with being brought to a place of humility without feeling like the Most High have forsaken them. This video is for them that are dealing with struggles and circumstances that they feel like they can't go out and share with nobody, because the very people that's supposed to hold their secret gonna be the very ones that go out there and blab it in the world, telling people, oh, you know what they did, you know what such and such did, you know what I found out, hey, somebody need to go deal with that brother. When you supposed to hold what people have to say in confidence, they can't do that. This is what the video was for. And I ain't in no popularity contest, so people can think whatever they want to think about me. But I ain't going to shelter myself from what nobody might say. Go on, I need somebody else to talk about me. Bring me a couple of more people that got something negative to say on the video. Bring me a couple of more people that got some slanderous remark. Bring me a couple of more people to call me a hypocrite or something like that. I know how to get the Most High's breakthrough and his blessing. Every time you do it, the number's going to go up. Another 10,000 views, another 50,000 views, another people got blessed. Come on, bring the blessing, bring the blessing. So Most High going to roll something else into my life that's going to make me come over here and make another video 10 times as powerful, because I see the demonstration that's come. Every now and then you need somebody to put their mouth on you. And when people got time to put their mouth on you, guess what they say about their life? Them that are in other people's business, they're there because they don't have no business of their own. But for the one that's down, that you've been feeling like you can't get up, you understand this. There are people that have gotten up from things that were far worse. There are people that have gotten up from things that were far worse. I watch a man get hit 10 times with a 9mm and got up and walked away, unscraped, unscathed. And right to this day, living his life, being thankful and grateful. What you think about that, bro?
I think that's it is powerful. I praise the Most High. Praise him. That's all we can do is praise him and be thankful for what we go through, man.
Yeah, man.
It's through the adversities in life.
Yeah, don't blame people for where you at. Yeah. And don't allow people to make you feel bad. about the places that you have been. You see? Because ain't nobody in their right mind just going to automatically choose to be in a bad place. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody in their right mind going to do that. And I remember, I'm going to tell you a story because I remember when we was in the game and we used to smoke a lot of primos and stuff like that, you know, and selling the dope and all of that. And then, you know, it turned. The younger brothers used to start treating the people that smoke bad, you know, calling them crackheads and treating them any kind of way and snatching their money and pushing them around and all of that. You understand what I'm saying? And I said to myself, hey, you know what? You a fool. You a fool. Because while you calling that person that, you wouldn't be nothing. That car you riding in, you wouldn't have that car if it wasn't for that. I said, them people out there that's on drugs, they're the most hustling, money-getting people on the planet. Why do you think all drug dealers have money and have fancy cars and all of that? But you forget who bringing you the money. You see, them people going to make sure that they're going to go to work. They're going to make sure that they have what they want to get what they want. And they bring it to you. And then you have the nerve not to slander or treat them bad. So you couldn't be around me if you didn't have no respect for the one that you calling a crackhead. I will have the greatest and the utmost respect for that one because he ain't out there begging nobody for nothing. You don't know where he getting the money from, but one thing you know, he gonna come up with the money and he gonna prove himself to be a far greater hustler than you will ever be. And when he get off a crack, he gonna still be able to hustle and he's still gonna be able to produce money. And I remember when I was there and it was said to some of the brothers about me, man, how is it, man, that this dude can do this stuff on a daily basis, yet he can still pull up in a brand new Cadillac? How can he do this and buy this stuff from us and he can still walk around with $200 Versace shirts on, silk slacks and colored suede shoes? How can this dude be a so-called crackhead and we ain't never seen him miss a beat? Look at how good his wife is. How can he be in that condition? Look at how his children respect him. He ain't never missed a basketball game, a birthday, ain't stayed out all night, ain't never brought us a VCR, ain't never sold us nothing out of his house. But every time he come around, he's shining better than us. It wasn't because I was no greater than nobody else. It was because I understood that it didn't make no difference. I wasn't going to be defined by the condition that I was in when I knew that the Spirit of the Most High's conviction was there, calling me out of it every step of the way. Come on out of there, boy. Just the very fact that you'll wake up and acknowledge me with forgiveness. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm sorry, Lord. I'm going to try harder today. I'm going to try harder today. And even in my failure, the Most High said, I understood your heart. Ain't nobody going to talk about you. Let them talk about you. But I'm going to put you up there in their face and you're going to outshine everybody. And the Most High ain't never ceased to do these things. Right now to this day, ain't no money. Everything is dried up. Ain't no job on the crippled list. Don't get no Social Security. Yet the Most High have upheld me. House is paid for. Cars is paid for. Everything on top. Bills is paid for. Food in the icebox. No money coming in. Look at my brothers and sisters around town. No, he broke. He can't go out no more. He ain't broke. Look at the car he driving. He don't drive what he used to. But when they come around me, they ask me questions like, oh, that house is yours. Oh, that house is yours too. Oh, that car is yours. That's your truck. That's your Mercedes. That's your this. That's your that. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Promotion don't come from the east nor the west. Promotion come from the Most High. That's my life. That's how I know. That's real life. That's living. That's not bragging. I'm showing you that the successes in life will be built on the failures, because your failure is going to bring you to a place of abasement. And from that abasement, the Most High will change and restructure your thought process, and then he'll raise you up before your brothers and your sisters. I ain't ashamed of that. I ain't ashamed of that at all. And you shouldn't be ashamed neither. All praises to the Most High.